Chief Jason Moffitt responded to the area and located the male suspect. Police say the suspect did not follow his commands and appeared to reach for his weapon, at which point he was shot and killed. Chief Moffitt has been placed on administrative leave, which is standard procedure in any officer-involved shooting. The suspect's identity is not being released at this time.
Authorities have found the body of a missing Gouldsboro woman. 61-year-old Lori Ann Reed was last seen leaving her home on Grand Marsh Bay Road around 7:30 Wednesday night. She reportedly had confusion and mobility issues. Her family reported her missing Thursday afternoon, and the search began. The Warden Service, the Civil Air Patrol, aircraft, and dogs were all part of the search effort today. Warden Ralph Hosford says her body was located at about 2:15 this afternoon.
When these calls go out in these small communities that make Maine so special, some people from the area showed up, and they were the ones that found her.
Hosford says her body was found more than half a mile from her home. He says the searchers were pushing to find her before more bad weather set in. He says while it's not the outcome they were hoping for, they are relieved to give that family closure.
A man from Bar Harbor convicted of raping and killing a former classmate was back in court today challenging his conviction. Our Matthew Juronsic has details.
Jalik Keene stood inside Waldo County Superior Court on Friday for an evidentiary hearing. Keene has filed a challenge against his conviction and a sentence of 58 years in prison for raping and murdering 19-year-old Michaela Conley. According to court documents, in May 2018, Keene and Conley were at the Connors Elementary School playground in Bar Harbor late at night. Surveillance cameras around the school showed Keene carrying Conley's body, which was found in the woods on June 2, 2018. On the night of the murder, surveillance cameras showed Keene coming back to the playground to wash his hands. Keene's former defense attorneys Jeffrey Toothaker and Don Corbett have gone on record that Keene claims the sex with Conley was consensual. The hearing Friday challenged whether Keene's former attorneys were effective in representing their client throughout the trial. Attorney Jeffrey Toothaker took the stand claiming that he was missing some evidence at the beginning of the trial that affected his preparation. Attorney Don Corbett testified that she and Toothaker went into trial with the PTSD defense, claiming the PTSD stems from Keene's tough upbringing. Keene's new attorney, Justin Andrus, argued that the defense in the 2019 trial was ineffective in representing the defendant and that Justice Murray should grant him a new trial. Donald Maycomber, the Assistant Attorney General in the Criminal Division, and Keene's current defense attorney declined to comment on the matter. In Belfast, Matthew Juronsic, ABC7 and Fox 22 News.
In other news tonight, a bill that would help protect healthcare professionals who offer abortion and gender-affirming care passed a committee along party lines yesterday. The bill is known as a SHIELD law and was created as a response to other states passing bans and restrictions on abortion and gender-affirming care. If passed, Maine hospitals and doctors would not have to comply with demands for information from states that have restrictions. Republicans have called the bill a, quote, transgender trafficking bill and expressed concerns about parental rights last week. The bill drew attention after attorneys general from 16 states that restrict care sent a letter threatening legal action if Maine enacts the bill. The bill passed the committee by a vote of 8-4 and will now face a full vote of the legislature.
An emotional public hearing in the Government Oversight Committee today as those affected by the failures of the Department of Health and Human Services spoke up after a recent watchdog report. That report from the Office of Program Evaluation and Government Accountability highlights details about the department's efforts to push for reunification for parents and children who were placed in state care. According to the report, OPEGA found 4 challenges that were prevalent in a majority of cases studied, including concerns with the practices of caseworkers, staffing shortages, wait lists for treatment, and the lack of timely filing of termination of parental rights.
I could go on forever about what these kids have been through, but we'll finish up with my suggestions. One being, sometimes it's not safe to place kids back with bio families. The kids' needs need to be paramount. Timeline for, as far as hearings to be allowed to be followed to the letter. Not one of the cases I have ever had a jeopardy hearing in 120 days. As a matter of fact, some of them have been well over a year.
We've reached out to the Department of Health and Human Services and have not yet received a response.
Well, switching gears now, avian influenza is killing tens of thousands of seals and sea lions in different corners of the world, disrupting ecosystems and stumping scientists who don't see a clear way to slow the devastating virus. The worldwide bird flu outbreak that began in 2020 has led to the deaths of millions of domesticated birds and spread to wildlife all over the globe. This virus isn't thought to be a major threat to humans, but its spread in farming operations and ecosystems has caused widespread economic turmoil and environmental disruptions. Scientists say seals and sea lions in places as far apart as Maine and Chile appear to be especially vulnerable to the disease.
President Biden has approved a disaster declaration for the state of Maine for areas affected by the severe storms and flooding between January 9th and the 13th. That means federal funding will be available to affected individuals in Cumberland, Hancock, Knox, Lincoln, Sagadahoc, Waldo, Washington, and York counties. Federal funding is also available to state, tribal, and eligible local governments, as well as certain private nonprofit organizations on a cost-sharing basis for emergency work and the repair or replacement of facilities damaged by the flooding. You can apply with FEMA by calling 1-800-621-3362 or by using the FEMA app. So a lot of people waiting on that decision. I'm sure a big relief for many.
Yeah, that's a long-awaited declaration for sure. You know, that's that coastal swath that came up and just devastated wharfs and fishing communities. And so, yeah, just like with the other storm systems in December, this one devastating impact, and a lot of help is needed still.
Absolutely.
All righty, well, let's go ahead and get a first check of our forecast because we have more weather on the way.
Thank you so much, and finally, a good-looking day out there today. No rain, no snow, but that's going to change by tomorrow. So by the morning hours, we're going to see a lot more snow in the forecast. It feels like winter, finally, right? Especially here in town, right by the coast. We're looking at just a little bit of snow, 2 to 3 inches, and of course up north, Greenville, Millinocket area, and the north of that, we're talking several inches of snow on the ground. Well over 6 inches in some spots, indicated in those purple and pink colors north of town. Now, earlier today, we were well below average. Our average, of course, you folks know this, lower 40s. We're at 32 degrees earlier today here in town, 34 in Bar Harbor, Machias. Rockland was at 35 degrees. Greenville, though, they saw some pockets of some cooler air, mid to upper 20s with that thick snowpack still on the ground at the moment. Overnight tonight, though, we're going to continue to cool off. Temperatures will be in those upper teens as we continue to see some increase in clouds.
Alrighty, Conrad, thank you so much.
And we'll be awaiting the details on that storm in our full forecast. But in the meantime, coming up on ABC 7 News at 6, the deadline to obtain your Real ID is getting closer. We'll take you through that process.
And we'll hear from Millinocket officials as they prepare for a huge influx of visitors during the total solar eclipse. Those stories and much more as ABC 7 News at 6 continues.
Add more joy to your journey at the Hyundai Getaway Sales Event. Get in and get away now before these deals are gone. Lease an all-wheel drive Tucson for $229 a month or get 0% APR or up to $1,500 bonus cash. See your Bangor Hyundai dealer.
Jamar Construction Products in Bangor continues to grow to meet our customers' needs, supplying products for site work contractors, concrete contractors, and survey and safety supplies. We are proud to be the local dealer for Hilti, Valley Blades, U.S. Fabrics, and Euclid Chemical, plus so much more. Stop by and see us at 1270 Hammond Street or give us a call at 907-4491. If you dig it, pour it, plow it, fasten it, lay it, or lift it, Jamar Construction Products can help you.
The best value for your money is always at the Furniture Gallery. Strike gold on value and comfort with recliners starting at $298 and power recliners starting at $398. Feel like a lucky charm with deals on this reclining sofa for $598 or on this sofa chaise also $598. Find unbeatable savings at the Furniture Gallery on top brands like Serta, Restonic, Parker House, Ashley, Flex Steel, and more. Markdown madness is happening now, so hurry in and save big. The Furniture Gallery in Augusta, Bangor, Newport, and North Windham.
The Orono Arcade is an ideal birthday party destination. We have the best arcade video games, including Tomb Raider, Halo, Need for Speed, Mario Kart, and Luigi's Mansion. You are guaranteed to have hours of fun. Plus, we also have a 9-hole blacklight mini golf course that changes weekly. Allow us to provide hours of fun for you and your friends. You bring the cake, we'll provide the entertainment. Call us today to schedule your birthday party event, 889-3166.
Add more joy to your journey at the Hyundai Getaway Sales Event. Get in and get away now before these deals are gone. Lease an all-wheel drive Tucson for $229 a month or get 0% APR or up to $1,500 bonus cash. See your Bangor Hyundai dealer.
You're watching ABC 7 Bangor.
It's now a little over a year before the Real ID requirements for federally regulated travel take effect. Our Augusta reporter Corey Bouchard learns more about the Real ID and what it takes to go through that process.
Starting in May of 2025, everyone traveling in the United States, even if you're just going from Maine to Boston, if you were flying, you are going to have either a Real ID or a federally recognized ID like a passport or a passport card.
When the Department of Homeland Security begins enforcing the Real ID law, it will have been 20 years since it was passed by Congress. But what does it take to get a Real ID in Maine?
Hi, how can I help you?
Hello, I'm here to get a Real ID today.
Okay, I'll take your driver's license and what you brought with you for documents.
We began by making an appointment online and reviewing exactly what documentation to bring using an online checklist.
Review that checklist because there are two important things that you have to demonstrate to the satisfaction of the customer service representative at the BMV. Your legal presence in the United States, and that includes if you were born here. You need an official copy of your birth certificate or a passport will also satisfy that requirement for showing your legal presence. Similarly, you also need proof of residency. And you should look for two documents that have your actual street address.
Secretary Bellows says the process is similar to renewing your regular ID. The clerk checks the required documents, asks a few questions.
And are you registered to vote in your town?
Yes.
Okay.
And if you're like me and haven't updated your ID picture in over a decade, take a new photo.
Most frequently women who change their name in marriage or divorce. We need to be able to trace the name change. So we need all of the documentation that shows name changes to the current name. That might be an official marriage certificate or a divorce decree or probate documents.
If you're not a fan of the Real ID, Secretary Bellows says you can still get your regular ID. Now, if you do plan to travel, you can do so using a passport or other federal-approved means of identification. In Augusta, I'm Corey Bouchard for ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
With two teams from Maine entering college tournaments and sports betting in Maine now legal, many Mainers may be eager to place a wager on their favorite team. We reached out to Milton Champion, who's the executive director of Maine's Gambling Commission, for some clarification on whether Mainers are allowed to bet on UMaine and other Maine colleges, and in fact, you cannot. According to Maine statutes, people in Maine cannot bet on any athletic event in which a Maine collegiate sports team participates in, regardless of where that event takes place. The law goes on to tell us that that doesn't mean you can't bet on the tournament games that don't include Maine teams, so you can cheer on Maine hockey tonight, but don't try to bet on them.
At least not in the monetary sense anyway. All right, well, as communities have continued to line up events and festivities for the upcoming eclipse, the town of Millinocket says their top priority is ensuring they have enough resources to keep everyone safe. Millinocket has coined itself as the biggest small town in Maine. Town officials say the eclipse is expected to draw anywhere between 10 to 50,000 people to that small community. Although many businesses and organizations are planning events, the town manager says they are focused on managing public safety.
We're a very small community in the middle of the woods, and we're doing the absolute best we can to pull resources together to try to accommodate this many people.
We've been working closely with our law enforcement partners, mutual aid, as well as the hospital to make sure that we're all ready to work together in the event of anything that could happen for a large incident.
Members of public safety say extra crews will be scattered all throughout the area the weekend leading up to the eclipse and on April 8th to ensure the safety of residents and visitors. Town officials are recommending locals stock up on gas and groceries prior to the eclipse and are asking visitors for patience. To hear more from community members, you can visit foxbangor.com.
And glad to hear that safety is top of mind across all these communities that will be in the eclipse's path.
As it should be, and you know, you of course have no doubt that folks are on top of it, but you hear those numbers, 10 to 50,000 people.
Yeah.
That's a huge influx really for any community in the state of Maine, much less a small town like Millinocket.
Yeah,
so,
just staggering numbers.
Yeah, so we're hoping that people do pack their patience, a little extra courtesy, and let's make it enjoyable for everybody.
For sure.
All right, well, still to come on ABC 7 News at 6, researchers at UMaine are developing innovative technology that can actually repair itself. We'll show you.
And in sports, we'll have highlights from Maine women's hoops and their tournament game against Ohio State. That story coming right up.
Comfy, cozy, relaxing. Not Joe. Joe's Furniture. Joe's Furniture Warehouse in Newport is the place to find rockers, recliners, sofas, and easy chairs. Quality furniture, affordable prices. Not your average Joe. Joe's Furniture Warehouse, Grogan Avenue in Newport.
Hey, Maine. How are you? Yes, you. How are you really? It's a question we rarely ask ourselves. But to Northern Light Health, how you are means a lot. So we're out here asking and encouraging you to ask the people in your life, starting with yourself. So ask away. Then connect with us at northernlighthealth.org/howareyou.
Hewitt Lift and Rolodoc creates
the strongest, simplest, and most reliable dock system. With one simple goal:
to get you on the lake
faster and easier than anyone else.
Because at Hewitt,
we build stronger.
After 40 years of quality building, we get it.
Hewitt family builds for your family.
For your family.
For your family.
Stand on the solid foundation of the Hewitt family.
Docks, pontoon legs, and boat lifts.
You work hard, play harder. You deserve a Hewitt.
Transform your surroundings with Paramount Paving, located in Bangor. They are your paving and seal coating experts. Whether it's residential maintenance to full commercial projects, Paramount Paving delivers quality that lasts. Book before June 1st and enjoy a $250 Visa gift card upon completion of your next paving project. Call us today at 602-8931 or visit us at ParamountPavingLLC.com. Paramount Paving, setting the standard for excellence. When it comes to paving, we are Paramount.
Durable, sturdy, stylish. Not Joe. Joe's Furniture. Joe's Furniture Warehouse in Newport is the place to find solid wood, built to last, made in Maine dressers, bureaus, and nightstands. Not your average Joe. Joe's Furniture Warehouse, Grogan Avenue in Newport.
Sign up for You Pick 'em Red Sox at foxbangor.com. Pick who you think is going to win and compete against other fans for prizes.
Hey everybody, Ryan Sudol here. Thank you so much for joining us. Big day for Black Bear Sports. Let's get started with women's basketball. 15 seed Maine playing 2 seed Ohio State in their first NCAA tournament game in 5 years. To Columbus we go. Maine starting out hot. We are tied at 11 as Ann Simon kicks it to Adriana Smith, and she drills the 3. Black Bears up 14-11. End of the quarter now. Ohio State's J.C. Sheldon bringing it past half. Pulls from inside the circle and drills the floater at the horn. Bucks up 6, and they go on a run in the second, outscoring the Black Bears 21-8, capped off by another buzzer beater, this time from Madison Green. Third quarter now, Simon down court, and it's Olivia Rockwood from the wing for her 4th of 5 threes on the day. Later, Simon in her final game as a Black Bear, driving inside, getting the hoop plus the harm. She had 25. To the fourth quarter, Buckeyes maintaining their huge lead. And here's Rebecca Mikula-Sakova for the corner 3. It falls, and Maine falls 80-57. But what a year.
Really proud of our team. I felt like we battled the entire game. Could not be prouder of our team, the season that we've had, and the way we battled today.
I'm just so happy and so proud that I chose Maine. Just coming here, freshman year, everyone was so welcome. I can't thank them enough for everything they've done for me.
Thank you for that, and thank you for all the years you gave to the program. And now let's shift to the ice for the other big game for the Black Bears, the Hockey East semifinals. 3 seed Maine against 2 seed BU at TD Garden, and our very own Tyler Cruz is in Boston, where the party is getting started. Tyler.
Hey, thanks, Ryan. I am here at the greatest bar in Boston. It's right across the street from TD Garden. Can you hear that? It's
the Let's Go Black Bears chant. It has been a sea of blue here, not only at the Greatest Bar. Fans have been pouring in here since before noon for the women's basketball watch party, but you walk around Boston and you can't go a minute without seeing a Maine hockey jersey or someone decked out in the navy and black. It is an awesome day, really, for Maine athletics. We mentioned the women playing in the NCAA tournament. The men just one win away from playing in the Hockey East Championship. We'll get to that game in a second. Really, with this crowd behind me, with the crowd at TD Garden and the crowd in Boston resembles, is a great time to be a Black Bear fan.
The passion for UMaine is alive and well, that's for sure. So there's our alumni base is really excited about what's happening with Maine athletics. It's really an exciting time to be a Black Bear, for sure.
It is absolutely a time that has been long awaited, and we are so happy to be here. But we're not here to just celebrate Maine, which of course we are. We want Maine to win. That is the most important thing, and they will today.
All right, so now let's talk some hockey. Hopefully they will win. Hopefully Peter was right. Maine taking on BU. Puck drop in about an hour over at TD Garden. First hockey semifinal game in a while. I'm here with ESPN Plus analyst, 92.9 The Ticket, The Drive co-host, former intern at Fox ABC, Jack Webb. Jack, thanks for coming on with me today. How you doing?
I'm doing great. It's an honor. It's electric down here. I mean, it's almost Orono South, like you said earlier.
It is, and being from Maine, being a Black Bear, an athlete with UMaine, what is seeing this support for Maine athletics really mean to you?
It means everything because you're so stuck, stuck's the wrong word. You're up there in Orono, you know what I mean? You're focused on your grind, you're putting your head to the grindstone. You don't really take a moment to, take a breath of fresh air and look at all the support around you. All the support you get at games is great, but to come and to see the community travel down here in Boston, as a former athlete, I know it means everything to the guys in that locker room and the whole athletics department as a whole.
Yeah, I'm seeing more Maine jerseys than like Bruins and Celtics jerseys today, walking from the Garden to the bar here. Let's talk the game now. Big one for Maine. Real quick, what do they need to do to come out on top?
Stay out of the penalty box. Last time when they played BU, they were in the box, a ton of shorthanded goals for Boston University, and Boye just straight up has to have a good day. I mean, next year's #1 overall pick in Matthew Celebrini on that BU squad, he's got to stand on his head today.
All right, it's going to be a good game. Hopefully Maine can move on. Jack, thanks for coming on with me. Ryan, we're going to send it back to you in studio. We'll have all those highlights later tonight.
Thank you, Tyler. What I would do to be there. That's all the time we have for sports. Here's Conrad Sapinski with your full 5-day forecast.
Thank you so much. Today's weather is brought to you by Varney Ford. Varney Ford in Newport gives one full year maintenance on every new and used vehicle they sell. Come visit them and see their huge selection of cars and trucks, the nice car and truck people. And get ready, my friends. We're talking a lot of rain and snow on the way. Doesn't look like much right now, right? The stripe of snow stretching from Chicago into upstate New York doesn't look like much, but that will really intensify overnight tonight. And then by tomorrow, we are looking at one of the biggest snowpack systems we've seen in Maine this whole winter season. It is on the way. No way around it. For now, though, we're continuing to see just a mixture of some clouds outside. Increasing clouds, though. Not much going on precipitation-wise overnight tonight. By tomorrow, though, by tomorrow morning, that's when that snow is going to arrive. Widespread, moderate to heavy snow at times. Rolling in from the west, coming into the east. Of course, from Portland, here in town, we're going to look at some rain and snow. Right by the coast, though, more of a rain event. Snow to start. But like Portland, up north, Rockland, Bar Harbor, into Machias, mainly a rain event. We're still going to see a few inches of snow right by the coast, but the rain, of course, will be washing things away. Here in town, though, we're going to be fighting that battle once again, just north of Portland, then here in town, Dover, Foxcroft. We're going to be in that battle zone, the rain and snow, but then just north, so Dover, Foxcroft, north of Dover, Foxcroft, we're looking at mainly just a snow event, and we're going to be piling up the snow. Usually 50 to 100 miles just north of that rain and snow line is where we get the heaviest snow, and it looks like we're going to be getting that heavy snow into Dover, Foxcroft, Millinocket, Greenville area. That's where we're talking even feet of snow in some spots. Yes, folks, we're talking even feet of snow in a few spots. Here in town, we're talking mainly 6 to 12 incher. That rain and snow, really that rain and warmer temperatures, that's going to compact the snow, definitely create lower snow accumulations, of course. Just north, though, that's where we're looking at just a snow event. And Dover, Foxcroft, and north of that, look at this stripe of orange colors indicating well over a foot of snow. Where even up to Greenville, you might be looking at 1.5 feet, maybe even up to 2 feet of snow in some spots. I do think the models are slightly overdoing it in some spots, but a lot of moisture is on the way. Now, the winds are pretty breezy, I would say, 14 miles an hour in town. Waterville's at 14, Bar Harbor's at 12, Machias is at 12 as well. Rockland, 16-mile-per-hour winds. We're going to continue to see pretty breezy conditions, and then by Sunday, that's when we're going to see some very gusty winds on the way. Temperature trend-wise, though, we're going to stay below average at least the next several days. No relief on the way. Our extended forecast outlook does show rain and snow for tomorrow, mainly snow events here in town, and then south, that's where we're looking at more of a rain and snow mix, and then windy by Sunday.
Unfortunately, both the snow and wind a little risky.
Absolutely.
Alrighty, well, we'll be right back, folks.
CEM DP Porter Contractors have been in business for more than 40 years. We have recently added an electrical division to further be of service to our loyal customers. CEM specializes in design build for commercial and residential projects. Whether you need help with older construction, new build-outs, or electrical services, CEM has you covered. CEM is currently hiring for all positions. We offer competitive pay as well as great benefits. To inquire about employment or construction, please reach out to 848-7486 or visit CEMmaine.com.
My father worked at the mill for over 30 years. He was exposed to a great community and excelled at his job, but he was also exposed to asbestos. The air quality inside the mill was always his biggest complaint. He had no idea how deadly some of the products and materials were. When he was diagnosed with mesothelioma, we knew to call Joe Bornstein's office to get my dad the help he needs and the justice he deserves.
Call Joe today for a free case evaluation. There's never a fee unless you win.
Does your dream kitchen look like this? Or this? Or maybe you need a little more inspiration. Get it when you explore the complete in-store showroom displays at Hammond Lumber Company. When you find the look you like, the Hammond team will help you customize it, including accurate 3D renderings, so you can visualize your project before the work begins. Hammond offers delivery from any of the locations across Maine and New Hampshire and professional service after the sale. Your dream kitchen begins when you bring your vision to Hammond Lumber Company.
As a child, you just couldn't keep me out of the puddles. That's where the acorn essentially was planted. As we got started, we had nothing in the bank, we were cash poor. Now it's just a one-man show. The support of my credit union, starting the business, the banking advice, when you can call them and they're there for you, that's tremendous. It's been a great asset for me and for my company's growth. It's really an exciting time, and my credit union made that possible.
Welcome back, and finally tonight, the University of Maine is working to develop wearable electronics that can repair themselves. Attachable sensors are used in healthcare, robotics, and more to collect information like a patient's heart rate. University of Maine Assistant Professor Evan Wujcik and a team of students are working to make that technology more comfortable and last longer with a sensor that can repair itself like skin.
Those polymer molecules want to be amongst themselves so much that they'll actually, when they're severed and cut, they'll actually kind of wiggle back into each other. It could be used to monitor movement, someone who's elderly, make sure that they're bending their knee to a certain angle if they're rehabbing.
Wujcik and his students have been working in the lab for over a year. The team will continue to research and experiment with the goal of forming the sensors into sleeves, shirts, or even suits. Just fascinating technology there.
Yeah, they have so many neat projects and fields of study going on at UMaine. It's always great to see what they're working on. It's always something useful and innovative.
Yeah, I can't wait to see where they take it from there.
Indeed. Alrighty, folks, well, that is going to do it for us. From everyone here at ABC7, take care and have a great rest of your night.
Good night, everyone.